We'll call the meeting to order. Do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Somebody want to make a motion to approve the previous minutes from the board meeting March 3rd?
Just want to,
Gotta approve the agenda first.
I'm sorry. One ahead of you. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I just want to make a change. The appointment isn't going to make it today.
Yeah, they did
Yep,
send
I
that
sent an
out.
email. Other than that, I think it's fine.
Make a motion to approve with that change.
Is there a second?
I'll say,
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, first, a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, board approve the previous minutes from the board meeting March 3rd.
Can those be approved when they're like that? Can they be approved all as one, or they have to be
have to be
individual?
individual.
Because you're just approving minutes.
Yep.
I'd have to look at the parliamentary. Can we find that out on parliamentary procedure wise?
What's that?
If in this, the approval of previous minutes, it's got them all three listed, if it can be just approved as one.
Necessarily, because
Okay.
they're different meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what, it's different.
Motion to approve the meeting from March 3rd.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Special board meeting, March 3rd. It was the rifle meeting, correct?
That is the rifle meeting, yes.
Yep.
Good job on the minutes.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Work group session, March 10th.
Need a correction on that with the addition to, we missed a conversation in the minutes, I believe, with the quarter rule.
Yeah, I accidentally left that out. So I'm gonna add in that you guys discussed that and you're gonna wait to hear back from the townships, I think, was
Yep.
the.
I think that's what we call the conversation.
That is correct.
And I think we also mentioned that there would be, or need to be time from environmental services to work on that. That's what I heard.
Also correct.
So with that addition to the minutes, correction, I approve. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment. Guess that's not gonna happen today.
That is, somebody should write that down. That never happens. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Enjoy it. Well,
Just let it be. Shh, just let it be.
And the appointments have been canceled till a later date. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Well, Brent explained it pretty well in his agenda request and email.
And email, you did a good job.
No questions.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Action items. Consider appointing Lane Zafke to the one-year term of Houston County Extension Committee. His term dates will be from the appointment date through 12/31/28.
We've had a couple of, I'm on the extension committee, Greg, you are too, but we've had a couple of open spots, and Lisa's found Lane here to fill in a spot, which is good. I know Lane, he'd be a good addition to the extension committee, so.
So this is a replacement
Yep. One
appointment.
that's got off, yep.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Been a motion, second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Consider approving or denying a conditional use permit for Michael and Susan Bashaw for single-family dwelling on less than 40 acres in an agriculture production district in La Crescent Township. Amelia?
Good morning.
Morning. Right.
So the Planning Commission met a couple weeks ago to review a couple of conditional use permit applications, one of which, as Commissioner Myrie stated, was for a non-farm dwelling. I would say a lot of the discussion that took place for this proposal was based off of a comment that a neighbor had submitted. And once we actually explained non-farm dwellings and went through the soils requirement and looked at the actual quarter, that resolved a lot of the questions that had arisen around this whole proposal. Currently, it is a 50-acre parcel, but he does plan to split that down to about 20 acres. And so that was the basis of this request. As far as conditions, we went with the two regular ones, and then there was some concern about a current home occupation that he operates within, I think he's in city limits now, about that moving out to the country, which would require a separate permit. So that was the reasoning for adding that third condition as far as operation of a home occupation from this site would require an interim use permit. But other than that, the Planning Commission had recommended moving forward with this proposal.
If I remember right, it was like a 57-acre parcel, and he was splitting off 17 acres for his daughter to build.
It's actually for him to build.
For him to build.
Yep.
His daughter's gonna live in the
I think it was a
Or
sister
son.
that would live in the
main
existing
house.
house.
Yep.
Yep.
And it was put in a field that used to be farmed, but it was marginal farmland, so it qualified to be put there. Correct?
Yeah. Yep. And then there is a structure that's on the quarter line, but it's actually an outbuilding and not the neighbor's dwelling. And so, that was kind of where the confusion came in as far as from the comment from the neighbor, if you read that.
Planning approved it though.
Yep.
And we recommended approval.
Motion to approve.
There a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Consider approving or denying a conditional use permit for the Barta Family Trust for a cabin in an agricultural protection district in Houston Township.
So this proposal for a cabin is up, is Looney Valley the correct?
Yep.
The area, okay, not my
in
side of the county. So up in Looney Valley, off of Traft Drive. It is a very tight building envelope, and ultimately, like, a cabin is really all that these landowners could do there. There's not enough area to build a house and locate a septic, so I think a cabin is a good use of the property. There was no public comment submitted for the board packet, and then no one at the hearing either, I recall. So we just moved forward with the two standard conditions, and the Planning Commission recommended approval of this proposal then.
How big a cabin?
He did not think that it would make the 400 square feet that cabins are limited to, just because of, he's gonna kind of have to go
Tight
long
perimeters.
and narrow.
He's
Yeah,
it's kind of a wet area there along the township road, so he's got to build up on a hump that's there. He's gonna have a staging or a parking lot off the township road, but he'll have to walk to get to the cabin because it's wet there.
yeah, as Eric stated, there's a lot of low ground that's all wetland and just overall just a wet area, and then he just has a small plateau, and then it actually becomes, or is hillside. So he'd have to meet so he wouldn't meet the slope requirements. He may have to meet the setback from that, which he just felt that in leaving a driving lane through there anyway, he was gonna meet. So he's kind of gonna have to go narrow and long versus just a square
But
20
again,
by 20
approved-
cabin. that
Approved
most-
by planning.
It was
Yep,
recommended. for
They
approval.
recommended
Looks like
approval.
it's a 42-acre parcel too, right?
Yep.
So it's, even though it's cabin requirements, that it's meeting, not permanent.
Yep, just recreational land that he's hoping to be able to utilize a little more and by having a cabin on the property versus trying to pull a camper back and forth.
Cabin on skids or on poles?
I don't think he told us that. I don't think we have that much of a
It's a
plan.
cabin.
But it's a cabin, so it'll have
I
to
assume it's gonna be on
Use is
skids.
just not a permanent foundation, so who knows?
I'll
What?
make a motion to approve.
Second?
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 4, consider awarding the project SAP 028-607-008, SAP 028-618-009 for paving on County Road 7 and County Road 18 to Dunn Blacktopping in the amount of $4,849,000 and 800, oof.
4.849299518.
Good enough. One bid was received. Brian.
Yes, so this is our paving project for this year. We essentially it is paving County 7 from Trunk Highway 16 at Holka all the way over to Trunk Highway 26, and then paving County 18 from Trunk Highway 44 at Holka all the way over to County 3 over in Brownsville. So being that it's a paving job, we received one bid, and that's what we were expecting. The estimate was slightly higher than the bid that came in at slightly over 4.9 million was the estimate. So this is paid for with our county state aid funds. So this is not local money for this project.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Saved us some money.
Number 5, consider accepting the low bid from Bruning Rock Products in the amount of $381,242.12 for CP 2026-01 shouldering.
Yep, so these next several ones, just so the board's aware, kind of looked at these overall as a bulk with how they fit into our budget, and the vast majority of these all come in under our estimate, and it fits into our budget. So this first one is for the aggregate shouldering along the roadways. We received 2 bids on this project. Bruning came in at $481,242.12. Our estimate was $397,475, and our budget for this year was $400,000 for this. So what we usually do on shouldering is if they start overrunning on quantity, when they hit that budget, that's where we cut them off. So this is doing shoulders along a good number of our paved roadways. We do this about every other year.
You're about 17,800 under what you budgeted.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Do you, every other year, so do you pick and choose which road gets, I mean, you alternate or what?
Yeah, yes, so we do shouldering one year, then typically we're gonna do road surfacing the following year, and then we go back to shouldering. And then we've been shouldering about half of our lane miles per year, or every other year. So about every 4 years, we do all the shoulders on all the paved roads. So we look at the roadways that need it the most, but on average, it's about every 4 years that we hit all the paved roads. And then the years that we don't put new rock down, we go and we pull shoulders, and we try to make sure that the shoulders are all.
But every year you go out with a disc and pull it in and
The roads we don't add new rock, we try to get most
pull
of
them
those.
back in and then tamp it back down. Yeah, that's good.
Excellent.
That saves our road, so.
That does.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, consider accepting all quotes for CP 2026-20 for aggravated stockpiles.
Yeah, so this is one that we do every year. So we go out, we get quantities, or we get prices from all the suppliers for aggregate in the county. And then when we have project, when we need a rock, we can look at what's the most cost-effective quarry to get that rock out of. Do they have rock available? And then we make a choice at that time on, do we get that local quarry that might be slightly a higher price, but we save on trucking costs, or do we need to go farther away and get rock that's a little bit cheaper and pay for trucking and seeing what's available? So, so this is something we do every year. We get from every supplier, I guess. So,
They're all pretty close.
yeah, prices came pretty competitive this year.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consider accepting all quotes for CP 2026-03 for equipment rental.
Yep, so this is similar to the aggregate stockpile that we accept all the quotes we receive. So this way, when we need someone to help us out, when we need equipment from a contractor, we can go through who's ever been the low price. We use them. If they're not available, then we go to the next contractor and figure out what we can get for equipment. The other nice thing with this is if we have some type of disaster, we can go out there and we can try to seek help from contractors to help us out, and we don't need to worry about negotiating prices and figuring that all out. We have what the prices are right up front.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, consider accepting the low quote from Farmer Asphalt Sealers LLC in the amount of $131,600 for CP 2026-04 crack filling.
Yep, so this one we went out and we received, we got 2 quotes back. Farner Asphalt Sealers was the low quote at $131,600. The second quote was slightly higher but very competitive, and then our estimate was $134,400, so slightly under the estimate. This is another item where if they get to where our budget was, we cut them off wherever that point is, so we don't overrun this quantity.
So the other contractors, have they bid before?
The other one, I don't know what they have.
Because I don't recognize that
Is
name.
American Pavement Solutions. They haven't received a low bid since I've been here, and I really don't know if they've bid, so.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, number 9, consider accepting the low bid from Scott Construction Incorporation in the amount of $503,789.01 for seal coating.
He was way under the other bids.
Yes. Yep, so in this one, Scott Construction came in at $503,789.01. Our engineer's estimate, $553,978.97. And you're right, the other 3 bidders that bid on this were substantially higher. Scott Construction does work for a lot of counties every year, including Houston County. They do a really good job. We did have some issues here a year ago with the striping that went along with that.
Is that gonna be addressed this time around?
And yeah, so we have stuff within the contract that if that stripe is more than a couple inches, 2 inches off from where it's supposed to be, we can make them go back and redo it. And then we also.
Make Scott pay for it, or make the stripers?
Well, it'll be under Scott's contract, and then it's, it's their subcontractor, so it's how
Okay.
they work that out. That's between them. And then we also plan on getting out to look at County 13 again with Scott, now that you can really see how far out that stripe is with the center joint and stuff, and see if we can do something with there. That stripe's held up really good this winter.
Yeah,
Which usually is a good thing, but not this time,
So
so.
they're 50,000 under what we were budgeting for.
Yep, yeah, I think original budget was 550,000.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, that's still, that's 50,000 under. That's
Significant.
significant amount of money under.
Yes.
Cool.
Somebody want to make a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve the low bid from Scott Construction. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Consider approving the purchase of a sign cutter from Traf Tech in the amount of $8,475.
So this is an item that, so I've been talking to Brent a lot here over the last couple weeks on how our budget's lining up, especially now that we have the vast majority of I shouldn't say the vast majority, we pretty much have all the large items for this year that affect the local levy. We're starting to get a clearer picture on where we stand for salt for the year. We know that we're gonna be over on our salt usage. Our sign cutter was originally purchased, actually it wasn't purchased, it was provided to us as long as we bought material from 3M back in 2000. So back at the same time when all the E911 signs were replaced around the county, we've had this sign cutter since then. We've been using it for 26 years. It's been out of warranty for a long time, and it's been several years now that they've been telling us that we can't get parts for it. If any component on that sign cutter fails, we'll can't get components. So at that point, we'd be without a sign cutter to make up our own signs. So, so we went out there, we got a price for a replacement sign cutter and stuff, and the recommendation is to purchase a new sign cutter, get this one here. Talked about keeping our old sign cutter, but really for $200, it'll, and the odds of something failing on the new sign cutter is pretty low. We don't think we'd wanna essentially store that sign cutter, without having a need for it or use, so. We'd like to purchase a new sign cutter, get this on the way, and then we have a sign cutter that works, and we don't need to worry about.
So what you're saying, it wasn't budgeted, but you have extra money to pay for it?
Correct. This was not in the original budget, but there is money to cover it, yes.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve the $8,475. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second it.
She seconded it.
Oh, did you?
Cindy second.
Okay, didn't hear her, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm quiet today.
Speak into the mic, please.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, that one carries. Consider the resolution 2610 for setting a minimum salary for any officials elected in 26. Mr. Parker, he's not here.
It's something we do every year too, is set the minimum salary.
It's kind of
What's that?
Not every year,
Well, we,
election.
election year, right. I
Motion to
should say
approve.
every time, yes. Second.
Motion and a
So
second.
this is just on election,
On-
right?
Yeah.
On election years?
Yeah.
And we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in
I'll just-
favor? Whoop.
It just guarantees that they're gonna be paid at least $5,000, right? Yep.
As listed. He did.
I did.
He. I guess I should say.
Okay.
There's-
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, consider a resolution number 2611 opposing the proposed expansion beyond the existing trout streams already designated unless Houston County can be active part of the process, be showing proper documentation for the necessity of the expansion and how this could lead to additional stream miles capable of sustaining a trout population.
So Brent worked on this resolution, and then I got the address from Amelia yesterday. There's an email and a mailing address, and I did write up a letter to go with it for Greg to sign if it's approved, that just, we can send it on to the proper person at the DNR.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Seems to be a pretty hot topic with a lot of people, so I'm glad to see that.
And there's some people that are downright very upset.
I mean, you got some farmers that are gonna lose quite a bit of land.
Yes, exactly. That's what I've been hearing too, so
Yeah,
this is a good thing.
I was trying to find what it is that we currently have as far as miles of trout land right now, DNR land, and it's really interesting because it's kind of piecemealed. It doesn't say it exactly. So just to throw out, what is this, another 30 miles or something, like that? I mean, that's,
It's being done statewide. They're going over and reevaluating all the streams
right.
and to possibly add on to trout streams designation, which turns it into public waters.
But we weren't actually given, the county wasn't given an indication by the DNR of where these would be, just the landowners have
Not
been
until late,
notified.
wasn't it? January?
I don't know if we ever received anything
Soil and Water
specifically
got a heads up on it, but
on where this is.
In my communications with her, she said that when they realized that Soil and Waters didn't forward it, they sent it to you guys.
Oh,
But I was kind of curious because based on the conversations I had heard amongst you guys, it sounded like you didn't know anything until landowners came.
no, I looked through everything that we had received too, and I received daily notices, too, on that, from the listserv, from the DNR, and there's been nothing.
So she did in an email, because I had asked her for an extension on that as well. I guess I just want to bring up that this part of the stage in the process was just to gather landowner input. And so she did say that it will go, the next step, there will be public input, then a proposal review, DNR approval to move forward, and then it'll go through the rulemaking process, which includes additional public notice and input phases. So that's probably partially why it seems like this just kind of came out of nowhere, because it is just the very initial step. And that mileage too, they said some of it actually is already areas that are classified as public water, but they couldn't really give me a good indication of, so what is our, or they said it would take some time to figure out what is actually the new implication of public waters for us, so.
That's what I was looking for, and it's really hard to tell because so much of the information, even on their website or when you talk to them, it's kind of a gray area because they list it as non-public areas. So I'm just surprised that we didn't have more of a formal notification of this, since it's pretty significant for counties and land in all the areas,
Yeah, it'll definitely be something we'll have to stay a little bit more on top of now that we realize it's out there. And
this will affect your office too, as far as building permits and
Yeah.
and the buffer rule.
buffer rule and, feedlots, all that stuff.
Yes.
So the next step would be we have the resolution, we send it to them, and then that's our input.
Yep.
And then their next step in the process was,
It sounds like they'll convene and kind of determine their proposals, because I've also heard that 37.4 miles isn't exact either. It'll go through multiple staff members, and then they each kind of come up with their own, because in statute, they just have to define it by section, not necessarily, which is not necessarily how we look at it, I guess. So yeah, it did sound like they plan to roll out a website too, once they get further along, that will have additional information in it as well.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. 13, consider reviewing and approving payments. Carol? Anybody got any questions for Carol?
Wells Fargo is just the bond payment for the highway construction, which actually we already received the reimbursement from state aid.
Wheelage? Is it?
No, this is actually from the state aid.
Our road
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion, a second?
I didn't see anything else was an issue on that.
Second.
Okay, we got a second. All in favor? Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Coordinator updates, I suppose,
It's not here.
not here, so we'll move on past that. Board updates, I have nothing. Commissioner reports. Bob?
I attended the annual meeting in Crescent Township. Went over the questions sent, by the township associations. I'm assuming they'll probably mail the report of that, or we can talk about that later. I have solid waste, meeting tomorrow.
Seems chunky.
Talk about garbage, so.
That over at the Stone Creek?
That's their annual meeting one. This one is held right at the recycling center and.
Cool.
Other than that, think spring, I guess.
Way much, yeah. At the jail sheriff's meeting, that you had personnel that day, so you weren't there, but, couple things to note with the rotation and with the officers that they had people out sick. Without that rotation officers, they would have had 60 hours of overtime. Instead, they had 3. So they're saving already on their overtime budget, which is
3
outstanding.
hours?
3 hours versus 60.
Wow, that's,
They didn't have to have somebody else come in, just be able to rotate things around, and so I thanked them for that and appreciated the fact that that saves some overtime hours. February population, 5.9 daily population, they had 17 people. The other, after that meeting, the Monday prior, they came in, they had 17 people in jail.
17?
Yeah, it was a busy weekend for all of us on the law enforcement side.
We had 17 in our jail?
Yeah, 17 were in on that Monday, but their average is 5.9 on adults. We've had 251 straight days of adults in our jail, 54 straight days of juveniles. We have the one contract, but 37 of those days were non-contracted juveniles at $400 a day.
the count for juveniles?
We had 54 straight days of juveniles.
That's probably in that 17?
No, that's adults.
Oh, okay.
We had juveniles.
Wow, okay.
It was, like I said, it got busy. And then, they got a grant for those, I don't know, Brian has talked about the monitors for the cells that go up on the ceiling. And it actually monitors heart rate, breathing, a pulse, heart rate and breathing from the ceiling
Okay.
on an inmate. It's just another added protection. It was, is a grant. So I obviously think Brian and Bill did a good job with, working on that and getting that grant. So, whole bunch of other sheriffs, Brian was talking about it at his last sheriff's meeting, and they're like, wait, time out. Where'd you guys get that? And so there'll be a bunch of them that, just another added protection, liability protection for Houston County with having those in there. So they'll be in their medical and in their intake, especially when you need them the most, because people coming in with different things going on with substance abuse.
Sure that they wear, or
It's on the ceiling.
so the inmate doesn't even have that?
No, it's state-of-the-art stuff, I guess.
That's really good for staffing too.
Well, it helps. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't take place of staff having to not go check on them.
It's
It's just
liability.
another liability protection for
Yep.
them. So, overall, I said to Rachel and Mark and Bill that they're doing a great job. Excited for the things they got going on over there and doing well. So that's all I got.
If they could, hopefully can find something, a grant for the camera situation.
So we did discuss that a little bit, but I thought, let's bring good news this time.
Well, I'm not,
Worry
it's all,
about them.
it's all good news. I just,
Yeah.
it's something we need to look at too, because I know it's a big expense.
It is a big expense, and I think coming down the pipe, it's something we have to look at. And as long as we keep it in our minds that this is something that we're gonna have to look at coming up
Yep.
It's pretty big, so. No, that was a great meeting, good information to get, passed on to you guys, so
Appreciate that information.
proud of them guys. They're doing
Good.
great, and girls over there, they're doing a great job. So,
Good job.
Yeah, I too went to an annual meeting, Houston annual meeting. Had good discussion, answered those questions that were sent out. There are the results at the April meeting, I'm sure, so. Got a planning commission meeting coming up this Thursday night. It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a lot on the agenda. So it might be an all-nighter, so we'll never, so hopefully not, but, I just wanna give a shout out to the highway department on their snow plowing efforts this past couple days. It's been quite the event, weather event, and they've done a good job of taking care of our roads. I haven't gotten one complaint whatsoever this whole winter on the snow plowing. Not to say there wasn't some other complaints on other issues, but that's being taken care of, so. But they did a good job.
the only thing I heard was the state plow got a complaint out by 76 and,
Development there.
they put her right in a ditch.
Yeah.
We had some lane blockage issues for a while, but that was state.
People had to take a detour to get to Caledonia that day.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
She was a little,
I think the Prairie Ridge Road wasn't plowed either, so.
bless the guy that was able to pull that out, because that's a big rig.
Is it local? Do they have someone local that can do that?
I didn't,
Yeah, I don't know who ultimately got them out, but I did hear that the original tow truck couldn't get them pulled out. They probably had to get some bigger tow truck up there.
That's the
probably
way I
Ken
understood it.
Standard pulled them out. probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not in a little bit.
I'm surprised the haulers didn't have a big enough one. They usually got a pretty good size
I
one.
think they were gonna go out in that weather
They
either.
don't have a record like that. They can tow trucks, but not
tow behind,
pull
but
them
not
out,
pull.
yeah. That's all I got.
Well, let's see. Last week, SHAC meeting, I had workforce development, which was interesting, especially when it followed the BCC career event. I thought that was very good. We talked at a county and a regional level about all the different events that are available and resources for all workers, and then also with students. And something interesting that they do is also businesses actually talk with education areas like high school teachers that are new and talk about the different skills that are needed for students. So just so they know in their classrooms what they can emphasize. Discussion on the proposal from the governor's office on possible changes with human services. We'll see where that goes. Just talk to the human services people here about that to see what that would mean. And it's kind of hard to know unless we know what's actually passed. So that will
From
be
what I
coming up.
understand, it's going to be taken away from the counties and the state will take it over.
Yes and no. If you read that, and according to Human Services and our conversations with them, some of that is because of like IT systems and reporting. But yeah, I think that's what they're watching out for and making sure that, there's some differences. In my opinion, I think we do things a little bit differently with our residents of this county and have to meet the needs of our area. And it's not consistent with all counties in the state. So it'll be interesting to
I
see.
think the way I read it too, it was not gonna fall under, I think they wanted to fall under a cookie cutter, just everybody's the same, but it's gonna, I don't think it's gonna end up that way at all. I think there's
No.
gonna be some adjustments to that.
I'm just, I'm glad they're looking at it. I think they need to, but we don't. What comes off and what we actually see at the county level might be different than what's being proposed. So we'll just have to wait and see and not panic until then.
Right.
React. That's all I have.
Allison, you want to read out the reminders before we close this all out?
Sure. There'll be a public hearing regarding a proposal to change the offices of recorder and auditor treasurer from elected positions to appointed positions pursuant to Minnesota statute. Will be held during the regular meeting of the Houston County BOC on March 24th, 2026 at 9:05 a.m. right here in the Commissioners' Room in the Houston County Courthouse, 304 South Marshall Street, Caledonia, Minnesota. And then we also have a reminder about the residential clean sweep event that we discussed at the work group session. This is a free event. It'll be on Saturday, April 25th, 2026 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Houston County Recycling Center, 105 North Grant Street, Houston, Minnesota. This event is for residential homes in Houston County and is limited to the following items: latex paint, gallon size or smaller; oil paint, gallon size or smaller; stained varnish, spray paint with original labels on; residential and ag pesticides, a limit of 200 pounds; fluorescent and HID bulbs, residential only. Please see the Houston County website under the Environmental Services for more information, or you can always call the Environmental Services Office with questions at 507-725-5800.
Thank you. Any closing public comment? There is none. Does somebody want to make a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Sorry, I was just moving
Yeah,
on.
I guess we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Kind of a forced
Opposed?
second.
Aye.
Okay.
Gotta get other names in here, you know? Jeez.